Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to today's Stocks Picks. It is Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. And we're actually going to start out with talking about Apple today, which has a little bit of news today about antitrust and that kind of stuff, which always seems to pop up with some of these major dominant companies. It's been making new all-time highs, but we're seeing a little bit of increase in volume at these all-time highs, which is not really what you want to see after a large move. You want to see spikes in volume, pauses, and then move higher. But when you start to see large volume like this and a little bit of churning where it's not really having momentum, it tends to lead to a turnaround in the stock. Excuse me. Congratulations to everybody. I got some really nice emails and messages yesterday for taking advantage of NKLA, which triggered late in the afternoon. Also, for those of us that did not get long DKNG early in the week. We made a call on that we saw distribution, kind of similar to what we're seeing in Apple here, but it was a little more obvious in DKNG and had a huge $6 trading range that closed on the lows on Monday. Yesterday closed lower again. So really understanding how to read the tape and these kind of things. Not only are we talking about making money, but just as important is understanding how to stay away from trades that are really low probability ideas. And you keep that money in your pocket so that when the market lines up and it's easy, and again, easy is relative, easy meaning you did a good job of understanding how to build a great argument for an idea, which, by the way, if you're struggling, click down and learn about the boot camp and see how other people are doing. I strongly encourage you to get involved. It's 30 days of awesomeness. We do a lot of this in detail every day. So anyway, Apple is the one that we're going to be focusing on a little bit today. It actually has what might be called an island gap today, which actually, if we open lower, that's what it's going to be, an island top, which is really what saw the market fall about 2 weeks ago. So it's a very simple chart pattern, but it works because you have this gap and then you have a space on both sides, and that tends to be a top. So increase in volume in Apple as well as a top. So if you happen to be swing trading the stock long, and again, swing trading is relative to everybody. For some people, that means 5 days. For some people, that means 3 months. It's definitely price action to pay attention to. I'm not saying to short sell it, but we are seeing it open lower. It is in the news, but you still have to read the tape. So if it opens lower and starts to find a bid, the stock is at or near all-time highs. So it could be a good short-term trade. So we're looking at different scenarios there. We're going to go over to the charts and just show you what we're talking about there in Apple. So we're going to just go a little deeper here into tape reading. And you can see here the increase in volume, and specifically on this candlestick, where it was not an advancement. When a stock is advancing, kind of like what we see over here, you start to see a decrease in volume during the pause and increase in volume as you start to trade higher. But we're seeing an increase in volume here without a major advancement or momentum move to the upside. So that's basically what we started to see in DKNG the other day. We'll just go over that very briefly, which we called out on Monday. You can see the spike in volume here during this churning of price action, and we've had these 2 days since then. So the real key was not buying this breakout, and you were not stuck in a bad position. So I'm going to take the volume off the screen, and we're going to take a look at a few other opportunities. By the way, if you find these videos helpful, absolutely leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. INO seems to be one that a lot of people are talking about. Kind of expanded in a big way. I mean, I don't know. This is very similar to what we looked at in the airline stocks last week. I personally would not be buying a stock that's up 40% in one day. I understand it's a great day trading opportunity. I understand some people love to get involved in these pharmaceutical type things. I have a healthy yellow streak on my back. I like to I like to trade stocks that are not going to have an announcement in the middle of the day that their clinical trials failed. Or that's the way I trade from a technical perspective. It's an amazing opportunity right now from a momentum perspective, but there's not a chance in the world I'd be buying a higher opening in this stock. However, very similar to what we called out in NKLA yesterday, where the stock, we stayed away from it for a while, then it consolidated and gave us a nice trade yesterday. I'm going to look for this stock to consolidate. I would think at a minimum, I'd like to see it at least have an inside day to look for a breakout. If it opens significantly down with the market that's opening lower today, we could, from a day trading perspective, look for a spot to bid for it intraday and maybe day trade it, but there's no way in the world I'd be looking to initiate a new longer-term swing trade after it's up 40%. If you need a little history lesson, just go back a couple of weeks and look at all the airlines and buying it after they basically doubled in price in 4 days. And how did that work out for you? It didn't, because the odds of following through aren't fantastic. TMUS is another one that we actually have in the list today. It actually had a new breakout. I'm looking at this as a buy stop above 108. Spotify, really good call by a couple people in the boot camp yesterday, although it closed on the lows, so I don't like the fact that it closed on the lows. However, a strong stock breaking out to new highs, pulling back, that creates an opportunity to get long. So I'm actually looking for it to fill that gap and look for a spot to bid over here at the highs. We just talked about NKLA, finally did what we were looking for. We stayed away from all of that noise, broke out, looking to hang on to that a little bit longer. Next, we have Adobe, which has been strong since earnings and continues to follow through. I actually would not be getting long in a higher opening today. You can see it's actually opening lower, which is actually a good open for a strong stock because you kind of have now increasing the distance between profit potential and getting long. However, the key here is getting long and staying long is not the same thing. You need to see some intraday price action to justify looking for a new trade long. So that's a big one. APT actually came up in the list as a potential trade outside of this range. So we're actually placing a buy stop at 1850 in this stock. Baba, nice call yesterday by Shah, finally broke out, got through that level, and now we need to see it stay above the level. Remember, you don't want a breakout to go inside or well offered. You want a breakout to go well bid to prove that the breakouts are strong and real. And you can see the last couple of times it got up to this price, it failed. So today's a really big day. We do like Baba long, but I want to see it stay above this level. As I pointed out yesterday, not the greatest day trading stock because of all of these melted candles. There's just a lot of inconsistency recently. So maybe a little bit better swing trade. Etsy also popping through there. Again, massive move. Again, massive is relative for stock, $76 to basically 104. I am not looking to get long this stock today. I am looking to maybe day trade it long, but I'm not looking to initiate a new swing trade. I want to see it pull back probably to the 92-ish area for another swing trade, but you can day trade it. Penn was the stock that we stayed away for a while. You can see why. 4-day trading range, but very similar to NKLA. Had a really good trend day yesterday. As long as it stays above this breakout level, which is the breakout level we've been watching for a while, you can see it exploded through here and immediately failed, although the news in the country changed. Got back above that level, so that's the key level there to hang on to that for a swing trade. Day trading is still on the table as well. Facebook and Netflix both broke out to new highs yesterday, but neither one of them closed near the highs, so we still like both of them long. I think Facebook a little bit more because there wasn't momentum as far as a new opportunity long. Netflix finally punched through. We had a 455 buy stop in this stock, traded through there, went up roughly $25, $30, and then closed on the lows. So you never want a stock to close on the lows when you're planning on holding it long. Not the best scenario, right? So today we're looking for this to be positive as well. A couple of stocks that were strong that saw some profit taking yesterday include SE. Looking for a buy of yesterday's low. So we might see a bullish U-turn where it opens lower and trades up. OSTK matches that criteria as well. So we're finding strong stocks that have a little bit of profit potential. Net is one that I have not been game planning for. We did have an inside candlestick breakout that failed yesterday. So I would like this a little bit lower, probably around 32. And two stocks that are pretty good stocks to day trade. I mean, does charting need to be any more complicated than that? Look at Roku. Got right up to the level that we drew back in April and still can't get through there. But that means you need to set an alert in Roku over 132. So set a little past that level, set like 132.25 for a new level. And BYND, which I find to be a very frustrating stock that traded higher and pulled back as well. I would prefer to be trading the stock closer to 140, which is the breakout level that we were watching. So plenty of opportunity again today, but the market, the futures are actually trading lower. I don't know if that's because of COVID. I don't know if it's because of profit taking. I don't know if it's still a hangover from the Fed announcement. And quite honestly, it doesn't make a difference. The SPY daily chart right now is in a very wide trading range that it needs to get out of for us to have some conviction to be trading long aggressively right now, which is why we're a lot more stock specific. So keep an eye on Apple today. We're seeing potential distribution in that stock prior to a little bit of news coming out today. And we'll see if that was kind of foreshadowing and really good tape reading. So if you find these videos helpful, absolutely click down and subscribe. And if you want to find out about the bootcamp, click down. I'd love to see you in there as well. Have a great day, everybody.